Hey guys, this is Captain Pro reporting for Dewey. Just having a little conversational video today. I don't do these a lot, but I only do them usually when there's some subject that's really on my mind. And the recent one I want to talk about, I know it's starting to go around the interwebs a lot here. I might even be a little late on it. Is the end of physical media in video games. So I want to have an objective discussion on this. So if you have thoughts, please feel free to leave them in the chat below. But, maybe have a little kindness and a little thoughtfulness might be, just a civil thing to do. So anyway, recently we've heard that Best Buy is going to be stopping sales of physical games and movies and things like that. And Walmart is going to be following suit. Now, Walmart is a major, big chain. This is a big thing. I think we're moving to the you will own nothing and you will like it kind of era. Now, I know there is some pros and cons to this. If you do look up the information, it seems like digital games are selling more. That's the way it appears that things are moving. Now, yes, I'm a dinosaur. Get off my lawn. I'm the middle-aged kind of person that goes, oh my goodness, because I don't like physical games. First of all, I don't like the idea that you make a purchase, you actually don't own it. You have the ability to use it, but you have no rights to that. So you'll never be able to sell it if you don't want to get rid of it. I'll give you an example. Quite a few years ago, sadly, I had a relative pass away. And he wanted to leave me his Steam account, but he couldn't do it. Yeah, I didn't have his Steam his information, so I couldn't just go in there and act like I was him. So he had hundreds of video games, lots of money purchased on games that just went right back. So it was like no ownership was there. So you'll never have any ownership that you can transfer. On top of that, another issue that bothers me with that too is that anytime there's a new trend or something that somebody needs to cancel, they can change those video games and movies. We've seen it, right? Like right now, they like Trump or not, they remove Trump from movies. They sometimes see something in a video game they think is taboo now or something offensive in some way, they've got to try to remove that. Whereas if you had the physical, that wouldn't happen. So there's some issues there too. Plus, I just like to have the physical presentation, have those things to be able to give to my kids, because if it's on a device, on a hard drive, it could be gone and over. If the company doesn't want to support it being there anymore, it's gone and over. You own nothing. Now, yes, there is some positives I want to mention to that too. Having it digital, you don't have to worry about the physical media breakdown. Let's be honest, we've already seen this with computers. Computer games are very rarely ever in a physical format. So I see that. But I don't like that. I like to be able to go and get those games. Plus, on top of that, I don't tend to ever get new video games. So some people are going to say, well, you're just cheap. Yes, I'm cheap. I don't want to spend $50, $60 in a video game. I'd rather wait a while and get it when it's used. And I know sometimes you can get things like on Steam sales and things like that. I get that. But for the majority of it, I don't be able to get that game when I want it cheap. You look at, like, for example, Nintendo games, they're always expensive, right? Certain games are only going to stay, they keep that expensive price point, which is going to price some people out. I'm just not going to pay that for a video game. Some people say, it's your choice, and you're right, it is. You can call me cheap if you will, and that's perfectly fine too, because I will admit I am. So we have the cost, the inability to pass those things down, the inability to preserve the way the game was originally intended and made, right? Because once again, if you choose, if they choose to make a change, you can't do anything about it. Those things bug me. Those are things that I don't like. My wife's the same way. Maybe it's because, we're both middle-aged. We like to have the physical presence too. We like to be able to say we actually own something. Something that we can choose to get rid of. I mean, think about it from the collector aspect too. For anybody that's a collector, what do you do with that? I'm not saying you use it for bragging, but there's sometimes we have a personal joy in owning some things. For example, I love guitars, and I have several guitars, probably more than I should. And each one of them I love for a certain reason. And sometimes I just get a little joy when maybe if I had a rough day, I can look and see all my guitars there, that they bring me joy, that I can pick up any one of those I want at any time and play with. Whereas if it's digital, well, they don't want that up on the servers anymore, let's say, and you don't have it on your hard drive because you're out of hard drive space. It's too bad. You've lost it. They can block your ability to get things. We've seen this with other digital media, that you won't be able to get it anymore unless you hurry up and download it now. I don't know. I just don't like that. So there's a lot of positives and negatives. One thing people have mentioned to me too is the environment. Well, about the plastic stuff. Well, last time I checked, we're not throwing these games away in landfills. Most people are keeping them or they resell them to somebody else that's going to use them. So I don't know if that argument holds water. Plus, on top of that, it takes energy and things to run all those servers. And those servers have parts and everything too. So you have a trade-off. I'm not going to say it's equal, but it's another issue. There's just so many things to consider with this situation. I personally like to be able to go to a game store and look at the games, look at the packaging, and say, does this look interesting to me? And I guess in some ways you can get that on digital, but I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. I guess I am old school. I like to have it. I like to be able to own it and say it's mine and be able to have the ability, if I choose, to get rid of it. But that's me, not you. I'd love to have a civil discourse, maybe bring some new ideas to light, maybe change my mind on it. Tell me why you think differently, why you think digital is the way to go, why I should want digital rather than dealing old school. Maybe it's the easeability of getting it. I get that. People love the easeability of getting it, getting that product easier. That makes sense to me. But once again, there's also another aspect of it. Some people like the thrill of the hunt, trying to find that game out in the wild. That special little, I got this game that I was looking for that I hadn't seen in ages. I just don't know. Plus, on top of that, with digital only, you'll never be able to hunt possibly for that game that's no longer out there. If they take it off the server, as I mentioned earlier, you have no more access to it. You can't find it at a garage sale anymore and go, oh my goodness, I want to play this game. I remember it from so many years ago. But once again, that's me. Please let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear it. Please share your views. I really appreciate all of you. Take care, everybody. Until next time. Have a blessed day. Keep it frugal. Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by My Wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things to just you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out. We have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you, everybody.